Your compass just lied to you, and it might be the last mistake you ever make. The Earth's magnetic field is dying, and the North Pole is sprinting toward Siberia at 50 kilometers per year. This isn't a movie plot, it's a countdown to a planetary flip that will change everything. What happens when the bottom becomes the top? Magnetic reversal has happened hundreds of times before, but never while 8 billion people were watching. If the poles flip today, our modern world is a house of cards in a hurricane. Would you even know which way is north? Birds are already losing their minds. They have internal biological compasses that are starting to glitch. Imagine millions of pigeons slamming into skyscrapers because their GPS told them the hallway was a highway. This is the first sign of the Great Flip. Our magnetic field is a giant invisible shield protecting us from space radiation. As it weakens during the flip, that shield develops holes. A single solar flare could fry every transformer on Earth. No internet, no lights, and no way to call for help. During a reversal, the field doesn't just disappear, it gets messy. We could end up with 4, 8, or even 12 magnetic poles at once. Imagine your compass pointing toward your kitchen fridge instead of the Arctic. Navigation becomes a literal guessing game. The northern lights are beautiful, but you don't want them in Florida. During a flip, the auroras will move to the equator. If you see green fire in the sky over the Sahara, it means the radiation shield is officially gone. Low Earth orbit becomes a graveyard. Without magnetic protection, satellites are bombarded by cosmic rays. Within weeks, GPS is dead, your car's navigation is gone, and international shipping grinds to a halt. The world's trade routes just vanished. The what factor is terrifying. Human health. Our skin isn't evolved for unfiltered cosmic radiation. Standing outside for 10 minutes could feel like getting a full-body X-ray. Cancer rates wouldn't just rise, they would explode. We would have to become a subterranean species. Here is something weird. Humans have magnetite crystals in their brains. Scientists think we might actually feel the magnetic field. As the poles shift, magnetic madness could set in. People might experience permanent vertigo, insomnia, or unexplained anxiety as their internal sensors break. The global economy is purely digital. If the magnetic field fluctuates enough to wipe hard drives, your bank account balance becomes zero, not because you're broke, but because the data literally evaporated. In a pole reversal, cash is king, but gold is God. Whales use magnetic maps to travel the oceans. During the flip, entire pods will end up in shallow rivers or stranded on beaches. The smell of decaying sea life would cover the coastlines. Nature is the first casualty of a world without direction. How do you survive when the very physics of the Earth are changing? Step 1. Stop trusting technology. If the flip starts tomorrow, your high-tech survival gear is just expensive paperweights. You need to go back to the basics of the 1700s. The stars are the only map that won't lie to you. While the magnetic poles are dancing, the North Star stays put. Learning celestial navigation is no longer a hobby, it's a life or death requirement. If you can't read the Big Dipper, you're lost forever. You need a Faraday cage. A simple copper-lined box can protect your essential electronics from the magnetic surges. If you want to keep a flashlight or a radio working, it needs to live in the cage until the storm passes. Sunscreen won't save you from cosmic rays. Survival means wearing lead-infused clothing or staying indoors during peak solar hours. The fashion of the future isn't silk, it's radiation shielding. We will become a civilization that lives by night. The safest place is underground. 3 feet of dirt is enough to block most of the increased radiation. Basement living will become the new luxury. If the flip lasts for centuries, humanity might move entirely into massive cave networks. Forget electric stoves and smart fridges. To survive the transition, you need analog tools, hand-cranked radios, manual water pumps, and wood-burning stoves. The more primitive your home is, the more likely you are to survive the grid collapse. Stockpile seeds, not just food. The radiation might mutate existing crops or kill them off. you'll need heritage seeds that can be grown in greenhouses or under UV-shielded glass. Food security is the ultimate currency when the grocery stores go dark. Keep an eye on the sun. Without a strong magnetic field, solar cycles determine your daily life. A solar maximum year could mean staying in your bunker for weeks at a time. You have to become an amateur astronomer just to know if it's safe to walk the dog. The South Atlantic anomaly is a dent in our magnetic field that's already growing. It's the preview of the flip. If you live there, your electronics are already failing. Move away from the anomalies if you want a head start on survival. Communication will revert to the Stone Age. High-frequency radio might be blocked by the ionized atmosphere. Local communities will have to rely on physical messengers or signal fires. The global village is about to become very, very local. The flip isn't an overnight event. It can take 1,000 years, but the chaotic phase in the middle is the most dangerous. This is when the field is at its weakest. This is when we find out if humanity can adapt or if we go the way of the mammoths. Education is the ultimate survival tool. We must teach the next generation how to live without the cloud. If the flip wipes our digital history, we could lose thousands of years of knowledge. Write your survival guides on paper, not hard drives. Localized power is the solution. Huge power grids are vulnerable to magnetic surges. Small, isolated wind or hydro systems can be shielded more easily. If your neighborhood has its own power, you won't be left in the dark when the big wires melt. Life finds a way. During previous flips, there were no mass extinctions. Evolution just took a weird turn. We might see new species emerge that are more resistant to radiation. Humans will change too. Perhaps our eyes will adapt to the permanent aurora glow. The new north will eventually stabilize. It might be in Brazil or the middle of the ocean. Once the field strengthens again, the shield returns. The flip is just Earth's way of hitting the reset button on its protective armor. The secret to navigating a magnetic reversal isn't finding north, it's finding your way without it. Trust your eyes, trust the stars, and trust your community. The poles might flip, but human ingenuity doesn't have a magnetic limit. The magnetic field has weakened by 9% in the last 200 years. The flip has already started. You can't stop the Earth from turning over, but you can make sure you're standing on your feet when it does. Good luck.